that point, video shows her running from the station, and giving chase is Commander Ronald Burgess Jr. He's the police chief's son.
Hit my head against the brick outside the village.
Grandmothers, grandfathers, and anybody else, in my opinion, can be considered thugs too. Just because you're a certain age.
More nonsense coming out of Dalton and the supermayor, where she hired a new police chief illegally, and this dude has quite a past. In fact, this dude actually ran for mayor of Dalton and lost to Tiffany Henyard. But now she decided to put him in, and we're going to see why it's probably a bad idea because, again, like I said, this guy has quite a past.
Dalton police officers voted no confidence in Deputy Chief Louis Lacey. A new top cop has now been appointed, Ronald Burge Sr. He ran against current Mayor Tiffany Henyard back in 2021 and formerly served as police chief in Dixmoor. The former Dalton Deputy Police Chief Louis Lacey was indicted on bankruptcy fraud charges.
Okay, so this guy right here, Ronald Burge Sr. Here we go. Here we go. This is the man that Mayor Henyard decided to hire, despite the situation that going on with her previous deputy chief, Louis Lacey, with the no confidence vote. So Henyard's appointment of Burge Sr. is alarming, considering his controversial history in Dixmoor, where he previously served as chief. This appointment raised immediate red flags, especially given Burge's track record of supporting his son, Commander Burge Jr., who has a string of misconduct allegations. Again, is this the kind of leadership Dalton needs during this chaotic and critical time? Let's see what kind of police chief this guy is.
The state's attorney's office was not truthful in what happened.
Dixmoor Police Chief Ronald Burge Sr. releasing this video showing 66-year-old Carla Bourgeois entering a secured area of the Dixmoor police station with her cell phone out. You can hear police tell her that she's under arrest. Her grandson was in custody and she was there to see him. At that point, video shows her running from the station, and giving chase is Commander Ronald Burgess Jr. He's the police chief's son.
While he was trying to take her into custody, she's shorter than he is. She grabbed him in his private parts and refused to let go. At that point, he picked her up.
Hit my head against the brick outside the village. He then took me inside the village hall and he bumped my head several times.
The chief didn't release the rest of the video, but prosecutors say Burgess Jr. grabbed the 66-year-old and dragged her by the neck and chest back into the station, slamming her head against a wall at least 3 times.
So the first red flag there is the chief did not show the entire video. Not good. Not good. If you are completely correct in what the narrative that you're putting out there, chief, or former chief, or I guess the chief of Dalton, whatever, why didn't you show the whole video of exactly what happened? This looks like a very big dude chasing a small 66-year-old woman running away with a cell phone. Again, if that's exactly what you said, it'd be easy to show it on video. So the problem is with this situation is not only she was physically assaulted by the officer of the law, but the video footage was conveniently edited by Burge Sr. to hide the worst of his son's actions. I don't know what other reason why you would not show the entire video. It's all about transparency. In fact, I can see why Mayor Henyard decided to hire this person. The fact that Mayor Henyard would hire someone that tries to stand by their family regardless of what they are doing is not a good idea. Burge Jr.'s violent behavior isn't an isolated incident. It's a part of a broader pattern of misconduct that plagued the Burge family, being shielded by his father. Again, is this the kind of man Henyard has entrusted to lead Dalton's police force?
The state's attorney's office was not truthful.
Rest of and dragged at least of herself from the. She took her head against a wall at least 3 times. She took these photos of herself from the October incident.
He was attempting to hold her against the wall. He had his arm on the wall, her there. Her head never hit the wall, if that's what they're talking about.
Where's the video? Show the entire video. Don't need to edit it. Let's see. There's accusations of the abuse. We can't just go by your word. The video would show it. Why you didn't show the whole video?
Bourgeois says the commander chased her after demanding she give her phone.
I was going to lose it. I thought I was going to pass out.
They have a background. So grandmothers, grandfathers, and anybody else, in my opinion, can be considered thugs too. Just because you're a certain age, does not mean that you don't believe and do.
I am not a thug. I am a very professional woman. I go to work every day and I take care of my family. And I don't need anybody to disgrace me as my character.
What that has to do with the fact that you won't show the entire video. I don't understand the labels of calling each other a thug or whatnot. Okay, she ran away. Your son chased her. We don't see the rest of what happened. It looks like he overdid it. Seemed like he had a bit of an anger problem. And again, if you say that no one got their head smashed in, where's the video? So that kind of shows that it looks like something that may have happened that may fall into the bucket of misconduct, not a justifiable arrest. But again, let's see if there's more issues with this son of his.
There are new allegations of misconduct against the South Suburban Dixmoor police commander, who's already facing aggravated battery charges.
WGN's Julian Cruz is at the criminal courts building with news of another potential victim. Julian.
Micah, the police commander in question, already accused of dragging a 66-year-old grandmother through a police station parking lot earlier this month. Now the same Dixmoor police commander is facing new accusations, this time by another South Suburban citizen, accusations of misconduct.
I don't understand why they don't see this. It's an issue with this guy.
So another disturbing story here. So Commander Burge Jr., again, his son, didn't just face one accusation. You see, there's multiple accusations of misconduct from different citizens. It gets to a point where, is this just all baseless claims? Or it's a part of a growing body of evidence that suggests a pattern of abuse of power? Maybe this guy shouldn't be a cop.
Rumon Terry describing his 2019 encounter with Ronald Burge Jr., the South Suburban Dixmoor police commander, already facing criminal charges for allegedly chasing down 66-year-old Carla Bourgeois. The recent incident captured on police department surveillance cameras. Cook County prosecutors accusing the 6'3", 230-pound Burge of slamming Bourgeois' head into a wall.
I got to go to court Friday dealing with this guy.
Now it's Rumon Terry raising questions about what he says was an excessive use of force back in 2019 outside a Dixmoor cell phone store.
I'm still on the phone. He swings and hits me with the hand, because he had the handcuffs in his hand. He swings and hits me and knocked the phone out my hand.
Terry describing his harrowing encounter with Commander Burge, a situation that escalated from words in a Dixmoor parking lot to an arrest for allegedly blocking a loading zone and being a public nuisance.
The public nuisance ticket, I don't even understand what that was. I never was disrespectful to the officer, but I did have words back and forth with him, asking him, why is he trying to tow my car?
Both Terry and his nephew were arrested for no valid reason, they say.
I ended up having to pay like $800 and some to get my car back.
So we're seeing more accounts of misconduct or alleged misconduct here from multiple people in multiple situations. So we have another victim here who was wrongfully arrested alongside his nephew. Not only they were arrested without cause, but they also were forced to pay significant fees to get their property back. But again, this is not just about incompetent policing. It's about a systematic issue of abuse of authority that continues to harm innocent citizens. It looks like this dude has a problem with de-escalation. It looks like what he does is just continues to escalate if he doesn't get his way as soon as possible. So this incident, like so many others, points to this culture of lawlessness and corruption under the Burge family's leadership at the time that he was the police chief in Dixmoor.
And Terry, faced with fines and lost time from work, going to court to fight the charges.
My client is he's going to plead not guilty.
Burge's lawyer, Robert Willis, at the Layton Criminal Courts building today, taking few questions from reporters. The Dixmoor officer going before.
That's a big dude right there. That's a big dude. You think with just with the size, you don't necessarily need to physically handle everybody or every situation. You should be able to use more effective policing tactics like using the ability to de-escalate situations. But again, multiple people, multiple situations, it's not a good look.
For a Cook County judge today for the case involving the 66-year-old woman.
I am very proud of my son.
Burge's father, Dixmoor's police chief, Ronald Burge Sr., earlier this month defending his son, telling reporters that there's more to the story. But Police Chief Burge not answering our questions today.
Well, it looks like the jury had enough of a story to convict him of 2 counts of aggravated battery and 1 count of official misconduct. So there you go. It's not surprising that Burge Sr. will continue to defend his son despite a lot of evidence of misconduct. But the problem is there may be some issues with his ability to be a police chief or even a police officer if he can't hold his own son's violent actions accountable. So instead of demanding accountability for his son's violent actions and some of these cover-ups that have been involved, it shows that, again, Henyard's ability to pick the best people is just not working. This is a failure of leadership. By appointing someone like Burge Sr., who enables and defends such behavior, Henyard is showing the community in Dalton that police misconduct will be tolerated under her administration. Again, all you have to do is just look back to all the things that Louis Lacey did.
Terry says that he and his nephew went to the Cook County Jail. They spent a couple of nights here at the jail on what they say was a bogus and unwarranted arrest. At the Layton Criminal Courts building, Julian Cruz, WGN News.
And we also have another story here based in Dixmoor that happened 3 years ago when Burge Sr. was the police chief. Dixmoor trustees can't sue village for police chief's alleged campaign of harassment versus mayor's opponents. So many patterns. A federal judge has rejected for now an attempt by 2 Dixmoor village trustees to sue their village government for intimidation and mistreatment they claim they suffered at the hands of the village police department as political retaliation amid an alleged top-down conspiracy involving the village's mayor. So you can see a federal judge has temporarily dismissed this part of a lawsuit by the Dixmoor trustees. So the trustees accused Dixmoor police chief Ronald Burge Sr. and his son, Commander Ronald Burge Jr., and several officers of engaging in a campaign of harassment aimed at political retaliation out of the direction of Dixmoor Mayor Davis, although she was not named as a defendant. The lawsuit alleged that the police officers surveilled, followed, and improperly arrested the trustees and their associates. It also accused officers of making threatening comments, issuing bogus citations, and spreading false allegations about Roberts, including claims that he was under FBI investigation. Burge Sr. has been fired previously for misconduct, but was rehired in 2017 by Mayor Davis. All this sounds so familiar, like another situation that's happening in a different village. The trustees' claims included violation of equal protection, false arrest, malicious prosecution, defamation, and racketeering. However, the judge ruled that the plaintiffs had not sufficiently demonstrated that the officers were acting under the village policy or custom to allow such behavior, dismissing the lawsuit against the village without prejudice. The judge gave the trustees time to amend their complaint and provide more proof of a systematic conspiracy rather than isolated acts by rogue officers. So this is the person that Tiffany Henyard wants to be as her police chief. It's just more of the same. It looks like there's probably some loyalty between her, obviously some other people that may be involved, maybe Lacey as well. If you saw all this information, why would you think that this guy would be the best pick to be Dalton's police chief? Doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But nothing about this situation makes any sense. But what you guys, let me know in the comments below what you think about the situation. Thank you for taking time to watch this video. And I'll see you guys in the next video.